Hurry, boys. We've got to get to Heartland Hotrods.
Howdy, everybody. We're back
We're live.
in person.
Yeah.
We're here.
And if you notice, we've got a new.
Kevin's grew a beard.
He has. He's gotten younger, too, about
Yeah.
20 years, 30.
So our buddy Kev's not here. This is Greg, for anybody that hadn't tuned in before.
Yeah.
My name's Kurt, and our guest host tonight, filling in for Kevin, is Luke Shirley.
Yeah, we lured him over, and he thought he was a spectator until
All you had to do is
5 minutes ago.
All you had to do was just dangle a bottle.
But we're glad you guys joined us tonight. We've got some topics to talk about with you. We're going to bring them up. Unfortunately, if you're waiting to see the Memories Car Club, we will be catching that at a later date. They had a little incident that happened, so we told them, fine, we'll reschedule that.
Reschedule.
So you hang on if you were, because we're still going to carry on a conversation.
We're full of crap.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to carry it on with or without. That's our motto. The show must go on.
It is. Last week, boys, we talked about LS engines, in particular Gen 3. I'm sure you probably watched, Luke.
I did, yeah.
And I'm still kind of on the fence about my C10 truck, whether I want to go LS or keep an original product. So a whole week of thinking hasn't changed my mind unless it's steering back to the original.
And there are a lot of opinions from everybody has an opinion on what to do there.
Yeah, they do.
But they're not driving your car.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
My whole
truck.
you know, Luke, and I haven't talked to you since we did that show, but my whole thing was the expense of building a small block. I'm not just going to take that engine like it sits and not go through it before I totally restore a truck.
Right.
And that's a big expense, as you
It
know.
is.
You know,
Very much so, yeah.
you know, you can drop between machine work, new parts, head work, and all that stuff. You can spend upwards of $3,000 pretty darn easy.
Mm-hmm.
Owning the engine.
And you already have the
That's
engine.
right.
So,
Right.
you know, that engine rebuild to keep it original is a big expense. Everybody, oh yeah, but that orange looks so good on her. Hell, paint's the cheapest part of that whole deal. It's everything getting to that point.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So I'm still on the fence, and you know, I'll probably change my mind 14 times before it comes time to make that decision.
Now, Luke here is a young man with an old soul.
We
He
mentioned
likes that original stuff. So, Luke, give us your 10
Well,
cents.
like you all said last week, it's about budget and what you've got, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I've never really dug into a small block Chevy or an LS motor to see what the difference is there, you know, as far as budget and stuff. But just me personally, whenever I am walking through a car show or a car cruise, and it's just my opinion, when I walk up to a car and I see a LS1 or something like that in there, you know, I just say,
It's an LS. Everybody does.
Everyone's got it, and it's all. And I'm just not a fan of new stuff. I like the old school carbureted stuff.
I knew I liked you for some reason.
I like looking under the hood and knowing I could work on that without any problem whatsoever with my knowledge that I have.
Right.
And where Kurt's at is it's a daily driver.
I am going to make this my daily driver. I'm restoring the truck.
It's more than just a show or a cruise.
But it's not. I'm not building it to cruise. I will cruise around in it.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
But this is going to be the truck that I drive on a daily basis. And what's the best options?
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I'm at. I'm a long way from worrying about that, I guess, in retrospect.
Well, no.
Hell, I can't even get it loaded on a trailer, guys.
No, you're not a long way from it yet.
And if you happen to catch our video that we posted last week, that was the day, and that was between Christmas and New Year's, that we caught a pretty nice day. It wasn't a nice day, but it was warm.
Yes.
Warm enough for the end of December.
It was 60, but it was foggy all day and damp.
Yeah, you couldn't tell what time it was. It looked the same at 9 o'clock as it did at 5 o'clock. And trust me, we were there for the whole deal.
Yes.
But we went to retrieve my old truck. My boys told me that it couldn't be.
They did.
Dad, just push it on the trailer and bring it home. You're not going to get it started. That part we did accomplish. We got it started. Now it wouldn't load on the trailer, and if you watch the video, you'll see we had a back wheel lock up, Luke.
Yeah, I seen that.
But we had a lot of issues, man. We just didn't have a good day, and it started off bad.
It's about as bad as it comes. Now we only labeled 6 fails in 10 minutes, but I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It was probably 60 fails,
Yeah.
but they were minor.
You know, I had all the tools I needed except what I needed.
You did.
I had a toolbox full of stuff and didn't even take a screwdriver, Luke. I mean, I didn't even take a screwdriver. So I didn't think that through real well. I think I put a little too much confidence in the fact that it would just put a battery in it, throw some gas to a boom.
Yeah, you were confident. I think
I was pretty
slightly overconfident, maybe. Now that we look back,
but I was also determined.
And I've never seen you more
Well,
determined.
you got further than what they said could be done.
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
That's a plus.
that is true.
That
But
is true.
you know, when the hydraulic hose blowed up in my face and gave me an oil bath. You know, some people pay for those fancy oil baths,
They
and stuff, but they probably got some young honey rubbing it on them. I did. I had Greg and Kevin and Ted.
That didn't go very far.
No,
He
it
didn't
was
like it. He was like, you know, that ain't where it's at. That ain't, rub over here. And I was like, I ain't going here.
It was kind of self-soaked.
It was. It was
self-absorbed.
But check that video out if you haven't had a chance to.
Yeah,
it deserves more
attention
than it's got.
Well, and
it's an algorithm thing.
Guys, how YouTube works is they don't see a car in the front; they see a backhoe, and they don't push it like they do other videos.
Yeah,
you know?
We're living and learning in this. We're almost a year in, and right now we're 40 subscribers, 40 away from our goal. So this is like a telethon.
And thank you all for those of you that are watching that have subscribed, or if you haven't yet, please do.
Yeah.
But you know, our goal is to get to 1,000 within a year. That's what YouTube says we got to have within a year.
That's our goal.
To be monetized and for us to quit.
Now, monetized might mean $1.50, but it's still monetized.
Yeah, but it beats spending $3.
It does.
You know,
it does.
So,
and anyway, we'd like to thank all you people that made this possible. To get this close, it's unbelievable. I'm going to throw a thank you out to Luke's father, Tom, who got on and made a passionate plea to all his
friends and his car buddies, and we appreciate that, Tom. And I'll tell you, and anybody that's done that and shared that. Darren Blake over in a friend of ours that's a Camaro guy.
Yeah,
he shared it and asked his friends to share and subscribe, and they did that. And we appreciate everybody that are supporting us and helping us. It goes a long way.
Sure does.
And we're real close, guys. Only 40. Luke checked on our page just before we came live.
And I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed, and I sincerely do thank you from our whole.
Well, you know what? As musicians, and we've all experienced this, and Jim back there behind
our man Jim,
he knows all
Gallagher,
too well.
Gallagher.
You know, when you think about printing out CDs, for example, if you're a band and you produce an album and things like that, you go, well, we'll get 1,000, then we'll go quick, brother. It's hard to sell 1,000 CDs,
but they make it so enticing. We'll drop it $1 a CD. If you buy 1,000.
If you buy 1,000,
right?
And what happens is you wind up with a big old box full, and you give a lot of them away because our goal is to get that music out there.
It is.
And I've never made money on CDs, but I know guys that's, you know, there's folks out in the industry that have sold millions of copies.
They
haven't made no money either.
That's
Somebody did, but they didn't.
Right.
So we're bringing back to the car channel, and we thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, we're asking you to do it. And I tell you what, we're not against or opposed to you doing the same thing Tom Shirley and other friends have done, and ask your friends to help these poor
help a poor old
country boy out here,
country guy out here, a poor old retired, living on the budget.
Very slim budget. But and one of our top talking points tonight, our topics, is going to be about winter projects.
Winter projects are a thing.
Luke. That's the thing in the winter.
Yeah, you know, back years ago when I had the old Chevelle, I liked going to that first Classy Chassis had a local car cruise, and they had the first one of the year was always called a Super Cruise.
Yep.
And the reason they called it a Super Cruise is because everything that come out new. That's when you saw all the fresh stuff, or if somebody got a new paint job, or they added wheels. All these winter projects are cars and trucks being built through the winter months,
right?
So they can get them out there. We got to have this done by Super Cruise. You know, that was a thing.
And you got a dash black on Super.
And you got a dash black on a Super Cruise. That's right.
A lot about it.
Well, we've been doing it a long time. So,
Yeah,
winter projects are a thing,
they are.
and
We'd like to ask our viewers right now, what's your winter project? Let
yeah,
us know what you've done.
and don't say I'm remodeling the kitchen because my wife threatened me.
Yeah.
We're talking about cars, trucks, classics, rat rods, whatever you're working on in the garage.
That's right.
That's got four wheels and runs
What
up
have
and
you
down
done
the
to
road.
it this winter?
What you turning wrenches on?
That's right. Now, what do you do? What do you do in the wintertime on yours?
Well,
Luke,
believe it or
what's your
not,
goal?
I've actually Kurt here. I went over there and helped him with his
Yeah.
Firebird a little bit, and actually my fuel gauge on my Dart quit working. Got it. I guess last year, a year before. And I've been him hauling around doing it and stuff, so he kind of inspired me now to get my butt underneath the car and start working on the fuel gauge, getting it working now.
I'm kind of green on mechanics. I'm just going to tell you, I'm as green as you can be. But a lot of people's fuel gauges and their speedometers, I notice the classic cars do not work.
They're noisy. They don't work. They're off.
What does it take to repair that?
Well, ultimately,
I don't know.
it's fairly simple.
Yeah.
And getting the parts that, most of the time, 90% of the time, and Luke will tell you, it's a sending unit that'll
Right.
give you the issue
Mm-hmm.
as far as what's in the fuel tank,
Or ground issue even.
or a ground issue to that sending unit. It'll give you a misread or no read.
Right.
All right.
Those sort of things happen. Now, what Luke's talking about doing to his Dart is an internal thing that you won't notice
Right.
when he goes to a car show or car cruise.
Right.
What are you going to do? How do you do that? What are you going to do to it?
Well, probably started the tank with the sending unit, like Kurt said, and if anything, to have my dad maybe sit in the car with the key on and just kind of start wiggling stuff around.
Work on
See if
ground.
there's something loose first before I tear the tank.
Yeah,
down.
so what you're saying is there's a lot of things we do on these classics that can't show up at a car show.
Right.
It
Well,
shows up on your dash.
It'll show up when I'm not broke down on the side of the road with no gas, because that's happened before.
So like for me with the Firebird that you see back here, when I built the car, it had the factory gear in it. It was a 273 gear, and we got a video on that video change or on that gear change on our Heartland Hotrods YouTube channel, where we talk about some of the problems we ran into. But I did invite Luke over because he said, "Hey, I'm a wrench guy." He said it a little differently.
Right.
but,
I'm a golfer, What do you need?
Yeah.
I'm a golfer.
So,
hold that,
At any rate, I changed the rear end gear in my car this winter. I had three things in mind that I would like to do. I wanted to put a shift kit in my tranny. I wanted to change that rear end gear and add subframe connectors. So far, I've only got the rear end gear changed.
And that turned out to be more than
It turned into quite a project, and I did learn something from that. But thanks again, Luke, for coming over and giving me a set of hands. And,
Well, it helped me learn stuff too on what we're doing. Plus, I learned a lot from your video.
right, and as part of that, I mean,
I learned a lot from that video.
well, I'm 62 years old, and I learned that a month ago. So,
Right.
we did. I had a regulator issue. I've got an electronic fuel pump on my car, and I wasn't able to regulate my fuel pressure correctly, and found out the regulator was bad because I run Holly Blue,
Right.
and it had basically blown the diaphragms out of that. So it was deadheading gas there, either having the gas just sit there and wait or burning it. So it was overfueling. Had to get the right regulator. Ordered a return. I wanted a regulator with a return back to the fuel tank. I bought that sending unit to go in my tank. So Luke and I, we dropped the tank, put that factory sending unit in there. The tube wasn't big enough for it. So I still couldn't regulate my fuel pressure.
Right.
I was still running more than 12.
Yeah,
We were looking for 5 or 6.
You're running basically what the pump was giving it.
Yeah. It was still, it wasn't sending enough fuel back.
Right.
So we went back to the original sending unit, and I fabricated a 90-degree 3/8 elbow into that original sending unit, put it in there, and ran new 3/8 line from the regulator back. Boom, problem fixed. Now, you won't see that at the car cruise,
no.
but these are winter projects. These are
Yeah.
things that you want to try to correct from one season to the next. And when I say season, I'm talking about cruising,
Right.
car shows,
Right.
just Sunday drives, whatever. But you want to maintain it the best you can.
See, I'm really new to this winter project,
Yeah.
and I go out and look at my old C10 and go, I think I need to do this, and I think I need to do that, and I'll come back in and think about it a while, and I'd go back out and look at it again.
That's part of the project too, though. It
And,
really
but
is.
you know what? And you can spend a lot of money doing these winter projects.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. I
Yeah.
just went through it.
Yeah.
But what I wound up doing is making my rear end. I finally got the right ring and pinion, and got the right stuff to put it together. But I decided last minute, while I have it apart, I'm just going to make it a posi unit. Another big expense, but I'm so glad I did that because I don't want to have to go back in there and change my mind later and do this whole process over and over again.
Right.
While it's down, I just made the decision to go with the posi, and that's where I'm at.
Well, yeah, so winter projects, if whatever you got going, let
So
us
what
know.
do you guys got going?
What do you got going, Timmy?
Ed Kitson said, I'm working on my winter project, just not sure which winter.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we all run into those. I had several winters go by while I was creating a
Oh,
project.
love you, Ed. Thanks
Yeah.
for commenting.
You're absolutely right. Now in
Yes.
Ed's case, Ed had some winter projects. He bought that new
He
62
did some
Impala,
projects. So, right.
and he had a bad 4-speed in his 62 Impala, and they took it to a guy. They put a brand new 4-speed in there
Right.
for him. He had some problems with his driveline and the carrier. They got all that stuff fixed, and that's stuff he needed done before he could enjoy the car that
That's
he
right.
just bought.
Now and that's another subject that we can get on, a whole nother line of subject. We went 300 plus miles to buy that car. By the time we've got there with our trailer,
On pictures, by the way. Yeah.
yes, and everything else, you don't have time to go through everything the way you would like to go through it. Now the car is beautiful.
Oh, it's a beautiful car.
It's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful
It
car.
is, and it seemed to drive all right. But in a few weeks, we're going to have a fellow named Kevin Webb that comes on, and he does inspections, pre-inspections.
Yeah.
And it would be so nice to have a fellow like Kevin and pay him to just look what's wrong with this car.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at it before the money changes hands.
Before. So
But
anyway,
but Ed bought the car at a fair enough price. He was able to spend the extra money to get. He got a new 4-speed. Now I was just talking to him earlier today. He's got a bit of a linkage problem, and it's just an adjustment thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not a serious problem,
Right.
but it's a problem he's going to have to correct before we start
cruising season.
Right.
cruising and going
And
to
we're
the car
talking about
shows and
cruising
stuff.
season. That's what we're talking
Well,
about.
yeah, and these car shows and cruises. Hey, it's past mid-February, guys.
It is.
It really is. So you know, guys that are trying to wrap up their little projects and things like that to get their car out there for the first time
Right.
or make those changes that they wanted to make over
Right.
the winter. Don't do like me and wait till last minute. You know.
Yeah.
Now, Luke, you over there at the beauty shop, you've got 3 vehicles sitting in there.
Yeah.
Every winter, do you guys do some maintenance on them? Just general maintenance?
General maintenance. Yeah.
Well,
You know, changing oil, that sort of stuff, and I mean just the typical stuff.
you do that during the winter
Yeah.
to get it
Yeah.
ready.
Get it. Yeah. Usually do it right before cruise.
So, you know, I mean, and when we say just general maintenance, yeah, everybody changes their oil, but I mean, on an old hot
Well, when
rod,
do they do it?
you know, they can lose some fluids,
Right.
And
Yeah, you double check everything.
it sits a lot in the winter time.
air pressures.
Well, that's the other thing too. We change the oil once a year, no matter what, because they don't get
They don't get no
they don't
miles
get the
on
miles on them to actually meet
Right.
what it
Right.
needs to be changed at. And something else
And
I
that's a
do
good
with mine,
policy.
I'll actually go through and I'll do a full over on my car. I'll go through and tighten up my bolts on the intake and whatnot. You know, going to the carburetor because I've actually had them come loose on me before.
Oh no, driving a car changes things, hot, cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
I go through
So
and
that's one
check all
thing
the
you
main
do.
stuff. You know, just kind of do a once
Yeah.
over trip over.
Because
Everything,
that's the thing we were talking about beforehand. What do you check the tires, the tire pressure? I mean, we're getting ready to cruise.
Torque lug nuts.
Torque
I mean,
lug
Got to
nuts.
do that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't want a wheel flying off on your
Right,
first
right.
trip out.
What about antifreeze? I've heard a lot of guys say, you know what? I change mine every couple seasons, regardless. I flush it.
Well,
do it. What do you
and
do?
some people do that. They like to have things like that fresh, like Luke said, with the oil and things like that. You know, I always make sure mine's topped off. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's
drive
what I
a
do.
Pontiac, and they're known for running a little bit hot.
Yeah.
So that's more of a concern for me than maybe Luke.
Right. I
Right.
check it, but I don't.
I actually watched today, and they said it gets antifreeze is actually acidity, and it will cause rust, internal rust, and
It will.
It's good to.
It
change
will, in particular in the blocks.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
over time, if you don't get that circulation, but if you're not
But-
getting that hot and cold through the winter, it's got all winter to sit there and kind of build a little bit of corrosion. You know?
Okay, so I mean that's something we should be doing. Is
Yeah,
stop
no.
and pull it out and
Right.
run it.
That's another thing too. Go out there and start it.
indicate,
once
and
a
that's
month
what
or
you
something,
guys do.
Right.
You
Yeah.
guys go out there and fire them up, let them run a few
And you
minutes.
get some
Let it get up to 10.
Yeah.
You guys got some beautiful cars, and you'll find that on Heartland Hot Rods. We've filmed all three of theirs at least 3 times.
Yeah.
That's how much
Because we
like
didn't know what the hell we were doing. So
them.
it's,
No, we really liked them that much. Kurt.
oh yeah, that's right.
It was like
That's right.
clockwork when y'all came back the last time.
Yeah,
You had it down pat.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Well, actors were not, and I'm sure that shows up when we're filming
A
stuff.
little BS has been known to come out.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I tell you, the one thing that we're looking for on you guys watching, if you've got something that's brand new or fresh, or if you've got something you're working on, it doesn't have to be shiny, folks. We'll come
No.
out and look at your project midway through. I put a post out on a social media site the other day, got several responses from it, and we're going to line up some of those videos
Nice.
for people to show. And it doesn't have to be a car from the 50s, 60s, 70s.
No.
I mean, we'll look at anything. I mean, we filmed that 35 Dodge Brothers truck. That was a blast.
It was a great.
You know,
car to
looking
film.
through the dust
Oh,
and the
wow.
dirt
Yeah.
to see that old truck.
That was a really cool video.
It was just amazing, you know. So anybody that has some projects going on, whether you're mid-project or you're almost done, and you would like us to come in and take a look at it and film it, we'll do a little. At the very least, we'll do a little short video on it.
I tell you what, you can go to heartlandhotrods.com,
Yeah.
and there's a form you could fill out. You could even upload the pictures of your car there if you'd like to. Heartlandhotrods.com. Let us know what you got, and that'd be a quick way for us just to browse at what you have.
Yeah, that's the best way to connect. You know, I mean, we check that website daily, and if you guys will direct your attention over there, if you got something that you think would work good on our channel, make sure you go over there and fill out that little form. Just take a few seconds, put your name, phone number, general information on there. Like Greg said, throw a couple pictures on there.
Yeah.
We'll get in touch with you, and we'll set up something. We'll put you out there on YouTube.
Absolutely, we will.
Now, any viewers saying anything, Jim, about any projects they got going, or
We got our number one commenter here anyway with us.
well, his father, yeah.
And his father, he'll let us know. He can just let us know in person tonight. So I
Well,
I got a question for you. Is with the crew, with the cars and stuff, and how they submit their pictures and whatnot. How far will you travel to look at a car? If someone
Great question.
if someone is pretty far away and wants their car filmed,
Well, that's a good
how would you
question.
go about doing that?
We like road trips.
we do.
We're not opposed to going a distance.
We're,
Now,
we're based outside of St. Louis, so I mean, they're a good day drive.
within a 150-mile radius, or
Yeah.
maybe 200 max,
Couple
we
hundred miles.
would spread out.
250. We
find
may
that.
go as far as Springfield there.
I tell you what things we're looking for in particular is these old barn finds, these cars that are sitting around kind of forgotten about,
They're
that somebody, or if you have something that you would be interested in selling, we
That's
will
right.
help you advertise that listing
And put it on,
and
yeah.
put it on our
Do a
channel
walk around on it.
and,
even.
and do a walk around on there and
And
help
let
you sell
know.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right. And while we're at this stage, before we get into our next conversation, I would like to thank Jimmy Gallagher.
Sure.
Would like to talk about their channel.
Hey, they got a great channel.
They
Now
do.
we deal with classic cars and trucks and
Right,
hot rods,
we do. What goes better with that?
music.
Classic.
And they do the backstories, the things that you don't really know about behind these classic country music artists in particular. And they got a great channel.
They do.
And they've been now. I think Jim, you celebrated your 3rd anniversary of your channel here recently. In March,
Wow,
coming up.
right around the corner. Our first
So,
will be in March. and
Yeah.
3rd, so that's cool. Have
So-
you got it up, Jimmy? Your information?
Let me see if I can get this right for Kevin's sake. Classic country backstory.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Kevin, if you're in Las Vegas watching Luke, it's classic country backstory.
Well, Kevin's problem was we had spent a little time over there near the restroom at that bar area.
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah.
why I remembered it.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
It affects each one of us different.
Yeah, it sure does.
Sure. But
It
anyway, thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy comes all the way up. He comes 30, 40 miles up here to help us out on these nights. And
He
can't
does,
thank
and
him
we
enough.
appreciate you, man.
And they're great musicians. Route 67 band, if you ever in the area around St. Louis, you see that band, you go watch them because they're incredibly talented.
That's right. Now, not only does classic country go with classic cars and trucks, that classic rock and roll does too. And we'll have a guy coming in that features some rock and roll here in the coming weeks.
We
too.
will. You want to flash that real quick, Rivers Doc? I think I got a
River Docs?
yeah, we've got a page.
Yeah,
Well,
he's got a great, very informative page. it leans more to bands,
Rock, yeah.
groups, guitar
But
players,
more on the rock side of
but
classic
it's
music.
more on the rock side of things. But man, what a great channel!
So we want to give him a shout out too, and a
Oh,
big
brother
group.
Ted's got a great channel there. River Docs does a good job of
He does.
exploring that and letting
He
you
does.
relive that past of that old classic rock and roll, whether
He
it's
does.
guitar players, bands, artists, all of it.
He's very
Covers it all.
knowledgeable, and it is fun to talk with.
He is.
So we would recommend him if he has a live going, jump on that live.
I think he does a lot of lives on
He does.
Sunday nights, so make sure you check him out on YouTube. That's River Docs on YouTube.
All right.
Now, one more thing before we get out of this topic.
Watch that finger, Kurt.
Yeah, well,
Lose it between
I pointed at you because you here 2 or 3, 4 months ago, you purchased your classic vehicle. You
I
got
did.
you a 68 C10.
I did.
Now, you're not getting out of the winter projects completely, but
No.
with this conversation, because you've got a couple things you're wanting to do to your truck before we get to the showtime season and the cruising season. Tell us what you want to get done.
I want to get the interior done.
Now, when you say you want to get it done, what's the main thing?
My seat.
Your seat.
My seat's the number one item in that interior. It's just got the old saddle. What do you call that?
That old Southwest style seat
Yeah,
cover
yeah.
on it.
And you know what I mean? It looks fine patina wise, but it's not what I want.
Yeah,
It's
you need
not
a.
what I want.
So Greg's goal is to get that seat recovered internally, clean up spiff up your interior a little bit,
It is, and buff out the existing paint
and we're gonna buff your truck.
and see where that's at. Now I'm going to take off the bumper, and I'm going to add on that little
That roll pan.
roll pan on the back.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do something with the front bumper. What I don't know yet, if I'm going to replace it or if I'm going to repaint it. And the side mirrors.
As close as you are to cruising season, I think we better get some paint.
I got to get to working. I got to get to working.
Yeah, because you're running out of winter here. We're going to be in the springtime before you know it.
It is.
And our next segment, after we take a little break here, we're going to talk about some of the shows and cruises.
Yeah, we've got
that are happening in our area in particular.
in our area in particular, and we're going to cover quite a few. So you guys, if you're in one of these clubs, stick around, call your buddies up.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about cruising and car shows coming right up. Well, we're back.
We are.
Jimmy took a little short pause for the cause and
Gave us a chance to
stand up and stretch a little
talk
bit.
some more.
Well, what we're going to talk about on this little stretch right here is car shows and car cruises. And
We are.
you know, Luke, we look forward every year to having a place to take our cars
Mhm.
and go hang out with other car enthusiasts and kind of show off our vehicles and what we got.
Right.
We do.
And
And see what everybody else has got.
we
That's the
like
coolest
it.
part of it.
Even that's even more important. I
Yep,
like
it
looking
is.
at other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and you get a lot of ideas when you go to car cruises,
Oh, yeah.
and you can ask questions. The owners
Yeah.
are there. Now, there's when we say cruises and car shows, there's obviously a difference.
Big difference,
Right.
too.
So, Luke, what do you prefer? Now, you can grab your card, you can go to a cruise. Basically, it's no cost to park. You
Right.
get to hang out with other car enthusiasts,
Mhm.
and you get to check out other people's stuff and let them look at your stuff.
Right. It's more of a hangout.
More of a, it's almost like Friday nights were, and it was before your time, old buddy. But in the 70s and 80s, we like doing that same thing. We're doing it now in our
Right.
60s.
Well, of course, we were doing it and at the time with modern cars.
Yeah, they were
Right.
modern. Yeah, you
That's
know,
when
Classic
cars were
today
cool.
was only 8 or 10 years old back when we started
5
doing
years
this.
old.
But you know, that was one of the things we did. We'd all gather at a certain spot, and everybody
Yeah.
parked their cars,
They
and
were.
everybody was checking out each other.
And if you had that little stretch of road you'd gather near that people could get out and do the bragging rights.
Yeah.
Drag strip.
Right. Yeah.
And
Well-
a lot of you folks did that. Don't pretend like you didn't.
And back in those days, it was just a hangout.
Right.
Now it's a car. They call it a car cruise.
Right.
So when we talk about car cruises, and we have a lot of them
Oh, yeah.
in our region,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
we do have a lot. Most towns do. I know some folks in Tennessee, Arkansas. They have all these little mid-sized towns. I'll call them.
Yeah.
Right.
They promote and put on a lot of monthly cruises.
They do.
Right.
In our area, for example, well, of course, we have one each month in Festus, and that one's it's been being at Culver's
Culver's,
Restaurant in,
Yeah.
in
And
Crystal,
they're great people. They really
Festus,
tell us
Crystal
stuff.
City. The owners are very hospitable.
They are.
They let us use an adjacent parking spot.
They do.
And
They
they
got
got an
nice-
arrangement with
Yeah. Bank.
the bank next door. It's a great little Saturday night cruise.
It is.
These cruises, people, if you haven't been to them, they last from 5 to 9. Nobody tells you when you can get there or when you got to leave, but typically it's
Right.
5 to 9. They're promoted by car clubs most of the time.
They are.
Uh,
Well, the cool thing I like about it too is your car doesn't have to be a show car. It doesn't
That's
have to
right.
be done. It doesn't, and you don't have to pay money to go show your car you worked so hard for.
it doesn't have to be a specific year.
You're right.
It
It
has
has
to
to be whatever.
Nobody judging it. I mean, everybody's admiring it.
Your
Right.
car's your
Exactly.
car.
That's
If-
cool.
we see at our cruises, we see newer vehicles. We see a lot of newer vehicles.
Mhm.
We do.
We see some old cars that are just old cars.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Right.
someone has taken pride in that vehicle
They have.
Right.
and cleaned it up, and they brought it out to cruise and just hang out. It's an
Yes.
atmosphere thing, I think, more than it is the
Absolutely.
car.
Mhm.
It's the car atmosphere.
It's kind of
that's
a
really-
club atmosphere.
It is.
Right.
I mean, more so than a show atmosphere.
No, it is, but they have the one at Culver's in Festus, Crystal City. If
do.
anybody's interested, I think they start in April and they go through October.
One Saturday a month, is it?
I think it's the third
think it is.
Saturday of every month
And we're talking about Festus,
in
Missouri.
Festus, Missouri. Now, Luke, you were saying they have a cruise at a local Sonic restaurant. Is that right?
I believe the one that's in South County by Doc's Harley Davidson. I believe they do that every Friday night.
Every Friday.
I
So if
didn't
you,
hear back from it to see if it was for sure or not.
so if you got a car and you live in that area, or if you're in our area or somewhere else and you wanted to drive there every Friday night at the Sonic, and these Sonics have a lot of parking space.
They do.
You know, you just back in, I guess, take a slot.
Right, and I
Order
think there's
some
a Home
food.
Depot lot there too that they overflow into that.
The
food
overflow is
shelf.
probably better for a place.
Yeah,
You have to buy your food.
Yeah.
In the slot.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't have a deal with the restaurant,
Right.
Kind of like Culver's does, because they have
Right.
so much traffic
Absolutely.
that their show is next door in
It
the
is.
empty bank
And
parking lot.
it floods across the street sometimes
No, it does.
on a good day. So,
It does. So you got the local one there. They have one in Farmington. I believe it's the last Saturday of the month, and I could be wrong. If anybody knows for sure, the one in Farmington,
Did we get that information?
correct me. I didn't have that one,
Okay.
but I believe it's the last Saturday, the first Saturday of the month, and I've got that right here, and I'll pull it up and just read it.
And Jim don't have these in any particular order, so if he
Well,
lets us
and
know.
these are what Jim has are more shows. We're talking about the
Okay.
cruises now.
Okay, cruises.
But the gentleman who hosts the Perryville, Missouri cruise
Okay.
got back with me today, and he gave me his schedule.
All right.
for the year. So it's
Perryville, Missouri.
in Perryville, Missouri, and it's around the courthouse square. They feature live music. There's food. There's restaurants open.
Really
Of
neat.
course, Mary Jane Burgers and Brew. They've got a brew house there. It's really a neat atmosphere.
It is. It's cool.
They've got great music. You got a great backdrop. Everybody parks around the square on of the courthouse on both sides. But they do the first Saturday of every month, April through October. So it's a great place. I'd never been, and I wanted to go for the last couple of years. And we had a show at the
wall, at the
War Memorial Wall.
That's right.
And when ours
Missouri
ended,
War.
a lot of our car guys, cruisers, went down to that,
Participated in that.
including myself, and I loved it. Man, what a! And when you go to these different car cruises, you see different vehicles.
stuff.
You do.
Right.
That's
You know,
really
if you
neat.
go to the same one every month, you're going to see all the same
You
cars.
really are hanging out in the club.
You are.
Hey,
You're
club.
basically part of an independent club when
Right.
you do that. But the first Saturday of every month on the Highway Riders.
All right. And I think we may have them coming on in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I
need
think
to
that's what you
double
said.
check.
We'll double check, but we've had a few car club folks that
We have.
offered to come on our show.
Right.
And we're going to get them on there as we get closer to the cruising and
And
car
it's
show
getting
season.
close.
It's getting real close,
Yeah.
guys. Getting real close. So anyway, April through October, the last one being October 3rd. The first one will be April 4th. So, if you're looking for a goal or a place to take your
And you're in St. Louis.
first
area.
ride of the season in your hot rod, or you've
Right.
got something brand new that no one saw before, you can start right there. Now there is some shows coming up prior to that, and we'll start getting them. Jim, I'm going to have you look through, and you can just throw them up on the screen with us. And these will be in no particular order as far as dates go. But let's start with that. Legends on the Lot, the St. Pius car show. It's got
He may have. It's small there. Let's just let him yell out what we got going, cause it's very hard for Jim to tell, cause those thumbnails are very small.
it'll look like this, Jimmy.
It's still hard to tell. I'm telling you.
It's but St. Pius Catholic High School
Yeah.
promotes.
We filmed that last year.
and
didn't
we were there last
Yeah.
year and filmed their Legends on the Lot.
And it was a neat little walk. I had a lot of fun on
A
that.
lot of
That is
cars.
a neat show.
More than 200 cars show up. They give you pay an entry fee. Now, if you're like me, I just pay an entry fee
You
for.
pay a parking fee.
I pay a parking fee to put my
Right.
car on the lot. I'm not
You
a
luck with
trophy.
it, Jim?
Which one is it again?
Legends
on a lot.
Legends on the Lot. Big white letters says car show. May 9th, 2026.
It's
when they're
really hard
having
to see
Was
it.
that a blue 67 logo on there?
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
So what they do is I think registration starts at 9. So you can get there as early as 9 o'clock. It's right in the St. Pius High School parking lot.
And it's a fundraiser for the school.
It is a fundraiser for the school. It's right across from Sir Dyke Yamaha. Real easy to find right there at the intersection of 61, where 61 and 67 join up. It's right there in that corner. It's a great car show. There's a
is.
lot of cars show up to that.
A lot of neat cars.
Yeah, and that's a real good one.
It was one of the funnest to walk.
And then the St. Louis Stains have a Cars for Autism show at the city of Peevely. It'll have some puzzle pieces around it, Jim, with like multicolored Cars for Autism.
He got it.
City of Peevely. It's on Main Street in Peevely, and that's coming up April 11th. Now, I'm not sure on the dates,
Now-
or I'm not looking at the
now,
calendar. Other
Kurt, I'm a little confused on Peevely. Where is Main Street?
well, I'm not real sure
I
either.
was thinking that too.
But I would
They usually
say
have them down at that park.
Main Street's over there by the police station, if you're familiar with Peevely at all. But it's a $20 registration fee. No pre-registration is required.
Okay.
It's 8 to noon
Is
on
it winners and losers too? Or?
April 11th.
Folks, there's only winners. There's never a loser.
There's never a loser. If you take that mentality that, hey,
Right.
I'm taking my
You
car.
can keep it fun.
If I win, great. If I don't,
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
That's why I pay for that parking space.
Right.
Lou.
Oh, look at this way. If you win, then you got something else you got to dust on that.
That's
shelf.
right.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Who wants all that sticking around?
But that Cars for Autism it's presented by St. Louis Stains, Mustang Club, I'm sure. April 11th, 8 to 12 on Peevely Main Street. And then we've got one down further south. It's just print, Jim. Griffin Automotive. Now, Griffin
Yeah.
Automotive is an auto body shop down on 67
Right.
in Bon Terre.
He does some wonderful work, I've heard.
Very,
as well.
He does.
Very nice work.
So he's got a show coming up, or swap meet, automotive swap meet, car parts, tools, projects, project pieces, things like that. It's rain or shine. Coming up real soon, March 7th. Starts at 7 o'clock in the morning at the Griffin Automotive location, 900 Point View Drive, Bon Terre, Missouri. Whether if you're building, restoring something, looking for a specific part, they'll have vendors there, new and used car parts.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what, folks. If it isn't real ugly, you may see an old green. What is that? A 503 color? 506 on my green. You think it's 503?
You're telling this story. I'm just listening.
You might see that C10 down there, but if you see Heartland Hotrods out, you come up and talk to us.
But you can find garage gear, tools, specific parts, restoration pieces.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good show from what I understand.
The internet with
Right.
meets.
Right.
You know.
So Griffin Automotive Swap meet, March 7th in Bon Terre on Point View Drive.
That'd be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go to that Sunrise Show Off cruise, and this one's coming up in March. It's presented by Day's Parts Yard, DAY''S, March 22nd, 7 a.m., 7 to 11, and it's at Dave's Diner in Arnold, Missouri.
Dave's, is that up on the right in a plaza?
I don't know, but it's 7 o'clock in the morning on March 22nd. I mean,
March 22nd.
It's
Find that one yet, Jimmy?
It's
Jim's on like that.
he's on it.
I'm gonna
He's,
tell you,
he's
he's a
like a
burner.
bad dog.
He is.
He's all over it. But that's coming up, and that's on a Sunday. So hey, if the weather's pretty, you want to get your car out, take a little cruise to Dave's Diner in Arnold. That's on Jeffco Boulevard, 529 Jeffco Boulevard. So that'd be a good place to start your season off with. And these are strung out throughout the year. We've got a poker run and car show at Fairway Automotive is sponsoring this one. 100th anniversary of Route 66 poker run car show, and that is Gravois Road in St. Louis. So they have a poker run check-in at 7:30 to 8:30. They do their poker run, and they do the car show. Poker run guys come back, and then they give away the awards and everything at 2 o'clock. And that one is on Gravois Road, 13001 Gravois Road, and that is Saturday, April 25th.
Okay.
So a lot of these happen in the spring. Now, you know what happens in the spring?
Oh, yeah.
We work around weather.
Inclement weather.
Lots of rain.
Lots of rain. It could be cold. It could be warm. There's a place if you're interested in that, there's a number there you can call for more info. There's also a QR code there. If you could just pick it up from our screen, but that's another one. Then we'll move on into the farther into the summer and fall with the save the date. It says here. This is Ozark Food Pantry, Cruising for a Cause, car, truck, Jeep, and bike show. So it's not only old cars and trucks, you can include the motorcycles, which a lot of times
lends us to another question.
Yeah.
Are they classics, and do they need to be filmed? Let us
Well,
know.
it says Cruising for a Cause, and it doesn't specify, but it's at Christ Memorial Park in Festus.
I went to that last year.
This
We've
one
got a
is
video on that too, by the way.
This one is for the Ozark Food Pantry. It's September 26th. Doesn't have, you can look it up on Facebook or some of the social sites. Doesn't have a start time or anything like that on their flyer that I have here. So make sure you check that one out. And, Kreitz Park here in Festus is really getting involved in these
car shows.
car shows. They have the Firecracker Festival.
They do.
And that's the one we went to that was really a nice one.
Right.
Will they do another one, Cruising in the Park? Or
They
something?
got Relaxing in the Park.
Relaxing in the Park.
Yeah.
There it is.
So, Relaxing in the Park.
Wow. I'm going to go there relax. I might do that evening.
So that's coming up May 15th and 16th. That's a 2-day event. So I believe it's on a Friday and Saturday without looking at my calendar. But you can basically go take your hot rod, your your lifted up truck, your bike, whatever you drive, your sports car, your little foreign car, your classic car, your
Whatever it is.
whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. May
Bring
15th
your
and 16th, relaxing in the park. And I believe they have a fall show as well. I think
They
the
do.
relaxing in the park folks do a spring or a summer and a fall thing.
Oh.
And of course, we have the spring mayor's cruise in Festus.
We do.
They shut down Main Street
They do.
and leave it to the cruisers for a couple hours.
We were there. Some looked like inclement weather last year, but it never
And
did.
I believe that's in early June. And then
There's another one.
There's
too.
a
They do
fall
second
cruise.
one.
They
Right.
do
Two of
the
them.
mayor's
Right.
fall cruise, and it's the same scenario, but huge turnout.
They
People
do.
come from all over.
Do they still do one in DeSoto? Didn't they have one in DeSoto?
They do have a cruise.
They do have a
DeSoto.
cruise in DeSoto where you cruise Main Street.
And they do
Right.
have one that they do out. I think they do it out there at the Catholic Church
Yeah.
or the Knights of Columbus.
And I'm only touching on some of these films.
Yeah,
There is a car cruise or a car show every week.
There is.
you
It's
can
like
attend.
I saw today on Facebook. Someone said, "Hey, I'm going to do my first car show. Has anybody got any advice?" And one of the advices was just check out the area, make sure you're not walking on someone else's car show. And I thought, how do you not walk on someone else's car show?
Well,
there's 5 shows on every
Right.
weekend
It's hard to do.
anywhere in the area.
if you're in one area and someone else is further enough away that they don't kind of
Right.
But they're going to overlap. That's what their motors are for. They drive you.
you know what I found, and we're in the early stages of planning we do a couple things a
We
year
do.
through Heartland Hotrods, of course. We did a Sunday cruise at Culver's, which
We did.
worked out great. We had over 100 cars
We
at
did.
our very first one,
That's right.
and then we followed that up
To the
by
War
doing-
Memorial.
to the War Memorial as a fundraiser for the Missouri Vietnam Veterans War Memorial in Perryville.
It's an exact replica of the wall. I'm just throwing that out.
No, it
We'll
is.
get in deep. But anyway, we did a fundraiser for them, and it really was successful. Everything
Everything
Consider.
we raised over $2,000 just in a short amount of time.
we did.
And thanks to you all,
We
they
did.
showed up with your
We
cars.
did.
And we had cars from Illinois, we had them from Cape Girardeau, we had them from Festus, St. Louis. They came from all over.
Right.
We did, we've got room for about 75 cars in that lot,
So
and it was full.
We will
That's
be
cool.
we will be keeping you updated. We're gonna
Question.
yes, sir.
Oh,
Which town was the swap meeting? Was that Griffin?
That was in Bonne Terre.
Bonne
That's at
Terre.
Griffin's Automotive, just south of the Bonne Terre exit. Now, I believe you have to get off at Bonne Terre exit
Yes.
to get over to it.
yes, you do.
Yeah. But anyway, keep it in mind. We will be updating them on we're
Yeah.
going to do another fundraiser for that because we feel so strongly about
We'll
it.
definitely do that, and we're going to sponsor. We're going to host another car cruise somewhere.
We will.
We're not sure where, but what we try to do is pick it either early enough in the day where if somebody wanted to do 2,
Right.
if
Yeah,
they wanted
right.
to come to our cruise and then go to another one,
Right.
and that they're not kind of walking on each other.
We're doing it on a Sunday too.
Or do it on a Sunday.
Right. That'll
Or
price
do it
a
on
lot
a
lower.
Sunday. And that has its other side of like our Culver's cruise we did worked out great on Sunday.
Mhm.
I don't know if the wall will be as
Well, the wall's not open. They're
Yeah.
not open on Sunday as far as their welcome center
right.
and touring the wall.
So that probably will be a Saturday event. Now, we were talking to young Luke here, our newest co-host, while Kevin's in
Feeling
Vegas
hardest here.
doing what he won't talk about, Vegas. But what kind of shirt you got on there? If you move that beard, what you got going on?
Anyway. So that is the Hotrods car
Custom
club.
Rod Odds.
Yeah.
Car Club.
And he
Hotrods
wants to
custom car
he
club.
wants to start a local car club
I'm trying to start something, but I want to do it.
in a very laid back.
Yeah, just more of a. It's just a group of guys that just hang out, go somewhere, grab a burger, and like, hey, there's a car show at Culver's in Festus. Let's go here and meet here, and we'll all cruise there together. Don't
Right.
set up a car cruise, don't set up a car show.
Right.
Just meet together and just cruise into the car show.
Kind of like that
together.
flash dance thing they used to
Yeah,
have.
and that was always my idea. To me, cruising is driving.
Mhm.
It's not
It-
necessarily parking. I know that's the name it took on. You
It
cruise.
did.
And,
Right.
and Perryville's got it right. It's a cruise in. They call
Cruise
it a
in,
cruise
right.
in.
Cruise in.
Yeah.
That's
So
That's
they call theirs a
Right.
cruise in.
Because a lot of people get like my fiance got confused when I was saying car cruise, and she thought it was like an actual cruise on
Where you're
Main
going to be
Street.
driving,
Where you're
yes.
driving. I said, no, it's just a cruise where
You know, the
you
mayor's
park-
cruise is
You
driving.
cruise
driving
to a
cruise.
location.
Right. So cruise in is more of a good is a better
Right.
term.
So, guys, let me hit just a couple more of these
Okay.
real quick. Fire Lake Winery, Cars on the Lake. That's coming up in April.
Okay.
And that is in Cadet, Missouri, April 18th. And you can register at noon. Car show's 12 to 3. The pinup registration, I'm assuming what a pinup, maybe pinup girl type stuff, ends at 1:30. They have that contest and then awards to follow. And that's on Highway 47 in Cadet. And it's they have 4 classes of cars: classic, modern, custom, and rat rod. So pretty simple.
That's
Pretty simple setup.
Yeah.
And check that place out. I hadn't saw that one till today, but that looks like that would be a fun time at the winery.
Right.
At Fire Lake Winery.
I've got some friends that play music there, so.
Yeah. So we've got we got the Mayfest car show coming to the Knights of Columbus in Perryville. That's the 5th of May, and that's sponsored by the Highway Riders,
Right.
local car club in Perryville. Make sure you get that. And then one that I attended last year down in Marble Hill, Missouri, Revved Up Rendezvous car show. And what's cool about that is they have the Eastbound and Down tribute come.
Oh, that's
So they have the Smoking the ultimate Smoking the Bandit tribute. They bring the cars, the sheriff, they got the Burt Reynolds, they got all of it. And it's really cool. And they put on a little stunt for
Little
everyone.
skit,
cool.
basically.
They do,
Yeah.
but their cars are really cool. And believe it or not, man, these folks look so much like the real
The real deal.
people in the movie. I mean, it's a great little car show and nice day trip. You know, you get
Yeah.
down in the morning. Anyway, it's on May 9th
Okay.
at Magnolia Park in Marble Hill. Shows 10 to 3. Gates open at 8, so you can start registering. And then they do their trophy presentation at 2:00. It's a real cool little car show.
And we did film one of the participants in this that will be Darren Baker
Yep,
and his Dukes of Hazzard collection.
right.
He'll probably have a few cars there.
He will have the entire Dukes of Hazzard collection that he owns at this car show.
And he has a cool collection.
Yeah, we filmed them all,
We
but
have.
you can see them in person and
You
individually.
can
There.
check them out on our website or on our YouTube channel.
Right.
As
And
well.
then one more thing I will mention, and I believe this is Saturday, May 9th as well, up at the Fox Service Center on Jeffco Boulevard. The Rotary Club of Arnold puts on their second annual charity car show. So if you're
Okay.
local, don't feel like driving to some of
Yeah.
these other places.
Now, if you're out of state and you're not within our area, we're sorry if this don't interest you, but what it should do is encourage you to look up this information in your area and participate.
Well, and I'll tell you something too. That Griffin's, I believe they also host a car show. Now that one we mentioned at Griffin's is an
Right.
automotive swap meet, but they do have a car show down there
Right.
As
every
well.
spring. So I know it's coming up. I didn't find the particulars on it. I saw
Right.
it, but I didn't keep that. But we're just trying to give you a highlight of a lot of, and I mean, we barely scratched the surface, guys.
Oh,
There's-
yeah. There's
You can go somewhere every
Right.
week if you got an old
Right.
hot rod, a rat rod, race car, classic truck. It doesn't matter. You can have a new car. We see a lot of new cars
right.
at these cruises and shows.
And you know what? Even if there isn't something going on, get a group of guys together.
They make
go
their own.
somewhere. Go
Yeah.
Well, that's what I always wanted to do. To me,
Right.
my
Good
idea
call.
of cruising
Right.
is get your buddies together. Everybody meet at a certain place. Pick out a place every month that you would like to go to, whether it's a park, another town,
Right.
another cruise.
Right.
You don't have to go to a car show and register all
I
the
mean,
time.
this is all about classic cars, trucks, hot rods, but it goes as far as modern cars.
right.
It's
Right.
whatever club you like.
Right.
Get
But
involved.
mainly that camaraderie that car and truck guys have.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we're seeking. And I would really love to just have a group of people that gets together maybe once a month, and we just pick a place and cruise there and maybe have a picnic when we're done, you can disperse whenever you want.
And
Right.
we've got a
Time
plan. We may
limit.
do one of those at this year.
Yeah.
So
We got a lot of cool things coming up. I know we went in pretty in depth about the car cruises and the shows.
location, the
But
time.
man, there's so many of them. And Luke, you get them. You get them
Yep.
as part of Heartland Hot Rods. And when you go to these cruises,
Right.
you see all these flyers get dropped in these cars.
Right.
Here's the thing: people forget to hang on to those, and then they lose track of what's going on. We get asked a lot. Hey, when's
do.
this one happening, or
Right.
this what's going on local? I even ask myself sometimes. There's bound to be a car show or a cruise somewhere
Well, there's 4 or 5 about every weekend in your locale.
in your area, and it's
Right.
not. And we just touched on our
Right.
general area, but man, you can go out to Springfield. They have some great ones out
they've got 'em
there.
everywhere. I'll tell you, they got great car shows.
Southern Illinois they got a lot of good ones.
And the reason we know there's so many is all you got to do is try to put one on and look in your area and try to find a date that there's not a car show.
where you're not overlapping.
Good luck.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say.
It's tough, and you're not only working around car shows and car cruises, you're working around festivals, fairs,
Holidays.
holidays.
Yeah.
There's a lot goes into planning one of these and making them successful. So everybody's got a car. Get out there and do your part. Try to get involved.
Keep it alive.
Yeah,
You know.
that's right. Keep it alive.
One thing I noticed on our YouTube channel, guys, is that we have our age group is our age group.
And
And I'm so proud to see a young guy like Luke that takes interest in older classic cars and trucks. It means a lot to us because at some point they're all going to go away if we don't keep that
If we
interest
get
and
youth
motivation
involved in
going.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we need to be including your children in your cars. Don't just get away from them on the weekend. Make them pack up and go with you. They may not like it, but they'll appreciate it.
They will appreciate it by and by.
They
as my
will.
grandpa used
They
to say.
will. They'll learn it. How we doing on time,
I
Jim?
think we're about done, guys. We got about
Yeah.
3 or 4 minutes. But Luke, it's been a pleasure having you
Oh,
on
absolutely. I love coming
as
here.
a
Just
fill-in
Yeah,
guest.
hanging out
did a
with you
great
guys.
job.
Well, we knew the chair was empty, and we thought, well, this will work.
That'll work just fine. And I tell you, next week we're shooting for having the C10 nerd, Chad,
C10 truck nerd.
C10 truck nerd.
Yeah.
And he's all about C10s. We don't mean to bore you with C10s, but Kurt happens to have one. Greg happens to have one.
Well, and let's face it, they're
And,
really a popular
It's a popular
vehicle.
truck.
they are,
Right.
but he's
Yeah.
got a great channel. If you like C10 trucks, he has got an awesome channel, C10 Truck Nerd
On YouTube.
on YouTube. He's also got a Facebook account. So look him up, and he's scheduled to be on the program next week.
We haven't had a lot of luck keeping these schedules. There's illness.
Yeah, it's been
There's some
There-
confusion on dates and things like that. But we promise we're going to get all that lined out just as quick as we can. And thanks again to Jimmy Gallagher back there behind the controls.
absolutely.
The guy from
Jimmy,
Classic
thank
Country
you.
Backstories that, we're not just turning on the camera and sitting here yapping.
Right.
There's a lot of work goes into this.
I didn't realize how much was into it until I
Yeah.
got here. I'm like,
It is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Once again, thanks for your subscribes and your views.
Absolutely.
You're really helping our channel out a lot more than you realize. And tell your friends, tell your family, make sure they check out our channel.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us.
It does. HeartlandHotRods.com is our website. Go visit it. If you got, like Kurt was saying, if you've got a vehicle that you'd like us to check out, all the information's there, and we won't pass it on to anybody. Heck, we're barely smart enough to put this show together. If it wasn't for Ken, we couldn't make it. So
Heartland Hot Rods, HeartlandHotRods.com. We got a Facebook page, Heartland Hot Rods. We've got a group, and we've got a following page.
We
So
do.
hit them both, and we'll try to keep you guys updated. And we'll see you guys next week.
And